All right. Everybody all right? I'm up just a little loud I want to be. Okay. We here. Talk to everybody. See everybody make sure we get everything right, know what we need to be. And make sure when you leave here, you got the Ruach HaKodesh. That's the whole purpose of coming. But you got to still look at all the different adversities you face. You know, everything that's coming at you, everything you're dealing with, and you got to ask yourself why. Why? Why do things happen? Why do situations come up? Why do I find myself in some of my adversities or difficulties? Ask yourself why. Then you have to look at yourself and look at what are you doing. It plays a major part. If you're not guilty, it's a reason he wants you to consider. If you're guilty, it's a reason he's trying to get you to identify so you can get away from it. And that's why we had the reality is a lot of people just keep spinning their wheels and they never get anywhere because they don't ever sit down and consider, you know, that he's trying to talk to you. As EU say, speak once, yea twice. He said, but unashamed perceiveth it not. A lot of time, man, don't actually clue in or kind of catch on to him trying to show him and trying to tell him or trying to get him to identify things. And for some other reason or some odd reason, you start showing characteristics of Balaam. Because Balaam went the wrong way too. The way he was instructed to do, eventually he started getting himself kind of looking at what he could do and it could advance him and looking at what he could get. And he started desiring things contrary to what Mr. Yahuah already had instructed him. And a lot of time with noticing with people, that's almost a natural form. They're just always going after things that's kind of forbidden from them, just like in the gun with Yahuah. It's the forbidden fruit that look like that people love to eat. It's the things that contrary to the will of Elohim that people seem more comfortable doing. It's the will of Elohim that seems to be the biggest problem. Would y'all agree or disagree? So then we ask ourselves, what are we doing? Why is it that we don't desire the things of Elohim more than the things that's of the Arats? I mean, all the things of Elohim got the promises to it. There's no promises to the things that you desire, the things you go after, other than moot. I mean, so for certain you're going to die. We all agree with that, don't we? Is there anybody that feel like, or anybody got some information they want to share that they've been told they won't ever die? So since we know we're going to die, you got to start considering. So the things you do, you can accelerate it. Even in the book of Kahalak, they call it Ecclesiastes, he told you be not overly wicked. Rosha, he said, why should you die before time? So, you know, a lot of people can accelerate their move because they don't consider their ways. So you got to start looking. I mean, he put everything in our immediate for us to sit down and consider. We look at how many times you find young people dying. All the time, don't you? And we like, man, these kids like they dying so young. But yet your book tells you that not to be overly Rosha. Why should you die before time? So we can accelerate our moot with Elohim simply because we won't hear. Or because we won't add here. We won't stick or hold fast to what he told us. But it's important that we'll start going through trying to examine things and look at things and trying to make the necessary changes, whatever need to be done. At the end of the day, ain't that more important than getting it right. Everything else in your life is secondary. There's a lot of things you might want to do, or you're trying to do. I can assure you it's not more pressing and more serious than your salvation. But you know, you could take that road if you want to. It's going to be to your own hurt. There's a lot of things I tell you guys, and those watching into live streaming, I don't know why people, for whatever reason, they like to desire things till they hurt. For me, I'd rather not be bothered. I don't get nothing out of getting hurt. How many of y'all get excitement or joy out of getting hurt? Okay. So everybody won't raise their hand. Because in actuality, you do. When you do things contrary to Yahuah, what you think going to happen? It's going to work till you hurt. So that means those are the things that you desire. Maybe nobody just never explained it to you like that. That there are things you have to look at. There are lines and boundaries that we don't need to cross. And some of you guys, you'll cross them. Because, you know, in your way and in the height of your attitude or whatever you're doing, you put yourself where you'll cross some lines. And some lines not made to cross. Y'all know that? This shouldn't have fought. That's for everybody. This shouldn't have fought. Yahuah put you in a situation to try to make sure we're supposed to have limitations. That's why you can't lift but so much. That's why you can't run but so far. That's why you can't jump but so high. That's why you can't hold your breath for so long. He's trying to show you got limitations. You have limitations. And you need to know them. And you got them with Yahuah too. Y'all got it? You can't jump but so high. You can't go but so far, Mr. Yahuah. All right? You're outside your limitation. And it's important for us to know that when we start hearing the word. I guess y'all guys here to a point then when situations or different things happen, and that's when you more or less kind of see where you're at. And that's when you don't want to, every time you don't want to know, but it's good sometimes that he allow things to happen so you can see. Then sometimes it can be bad for you because sometimes you can do things that can be critical. Hello? If they put you in critical care, that's the same as a regular room. You still hospitalized though. Isn't that right? So it's in time for us to sit down and look at where our situation is. Is it critical? You know what I'm saying? Exactly where you at. Hello? I don't know. I talked to y'all, but I don't know how far we're going to go. We had to look at from the young people all the way up to the grown people. Isn't that right? And the old people too. Everybody got to get it right. This thing for everybody. That's the one thing about it. It don't exempt nobody. Some of y'all, you'll have issues where you'll blame everybody else for it. Everybody else is not your problem. People can tell you that everybody's problem. You ask people, what's your problem? Everybody my problem. It's impossible for everybody to be your problem. It's just you got a problem with yourself on every situation, every end. And sometimes you got to know how to examine yourself and know whether you the problem or whether somebody else the problem. You know that? That's what you're being realistic with yourself. That's just being honest. Man, it seems like everybody in the world crazy. Is that practical that everybody in the world crazy and that you got common sense? It just makes sense that your logic is really not logical to everybody else. And because it's your logic, you feel like everybody should agree or should have signed or should have stated what you're saying when they don't. I mean, it's just time to be practical with yourself. We're talking about your salvation. Hello? Okay. So I don't say it without a reasoning. They give me a chance to kind of see where everybody at. Then we see what we have to repair, what we got to do at the end of the day. That's what Nakum Yah was trying to do. He was trying to repair the breaches. I know we got breaches. It's breaks. You guys got breaks and you'll think you don't. But we got to try to come so you can see where the chinks at in your armor. Hello? That's just being honest. Be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to rail. That's what the book told us to do. Quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to rail. It's important for everybody to consider that. Because you could do some things that could be critical for you. Hello? Yes, sir. All right. Just make sure where we at. How everybody feeling other than that? All right. We feeling all right? That mean y'all living right? Yes, sir. Okay. Some of them thinking that. They say, I don't know if I should have said that. Sometimes you can be all right, but you don't realize, hey, you been doing the will of Elohim. That's right. Hello? Yes, sir. That's just true. That's just being honest. We got to make sure we're doing right. Now, we've been doing all right. I mean, we've been doing right. Y'all know it's a saying sometimes, how you feeling? I feel all right. You shouldn't feel all right if you're outside the will of Elohim. Right. Hello? Yes, that means something wrong with your logic. Right. Isn't that right? The way you see things, the way you perceive things. So we're trying to get ourselves back into communication with him by looking at how, I mean, what I tell people, I know, I don't know, everybody got their own thing. I want to do, we really sat down and consider what we're giving this change for our life. Hello? What will we give in exchange for our life? You know, you got people, when they put a gun in their head, they'll tell them, give me everything in your pocket that they wouldn't typically give up. If somebody just walked up and nicely asked them, could they have some money, they'll tell them no. It could be $1, no. But if somebody put a gun in their head and tell them to give them everything they got, they'll do it. Because they value their life more than those things. You know that? How many of y'all had somebody, hey man, hey my man, let me get $2. What you tell them? Get away from me, go get a job. Somebody come put a pistol in your head and tell me, give you everything you got. What you tell them? Get away from me. I ain't got time for that junk. Go get a job, nigga. Quit begging. What are you typically gonna do? without hesitation, because you realize your life on the line. Maybe that's what we need to be done. That's need to be done us to make sure we take it serious and come to our salvation. Maybe Mr. Yahuah need to put a gun in our head and tell me, give me all your fornication. Give me all your lying. Give me all your whole money. Give me all your backbiting. Give me all your hypocrite. How much do I guess we'll hold on to? I mean, if somebody asks you for everything in your pocket, you think about getting killed. I ain't trying to. I'll deal with that later. I know I got bills to pay. I know I got to get gas. I know I got to get groceries. I know I got to pay child support. But right now, my life on the line. Yeah. And all I want to do is get myself out of this situation. Nothing else that I have to do with that money is more pressing than somebody finna blow my brains out right here on the spot. Agree or disagree? So why don't we see Yahuah as that person when he asking us to do something or let go of something and get rid of something to that same magnitude? Give it up, I'm going to blow your brains out. I'm going to kill you. Why we don't see him that way? It's because of the preachers. See, at some point, we had to play part of the blame for it. Because people feel like if you can come to us and you can get us to plow for you, or you can get us to do intercession for you, that you're okay, but the threat is still prevalent. He's going to do what he said he's going to do. If we get him to make an agreement or make intercession for you, sometimes it's just to prolong the matter. Mushah did the same thing for the army. He was going to kill them. When he told them to get him down, he was going to consume them people. And I was told in the book of Zechariah, because Yahuah has remembered. He remembered. He marked to remember. He said, in the Yom, I will visit them. I'm going to visit you. So at best, a lot of time we do, you might be in a state where you might not be actually in the forgiveness with him. You might be in a state with him where we just prolong the matter. They got medications that can prolong your death. You got 3 months to live with some treatments, with some visit, with some other things. You could probably get 5 more months. Did they save your life? Hello? What happened? So what are we doing? Are we going to sit down and we're going to be practical? Because just like we talked about identifying everything out in the world about your reality, let's deal with the reality of you. A lot of people are hoping things are going to go away. It's common like the boogeyman effect. If the boogeyman come in your room, you take the cover and you put it over your head. Because there's a written agreement and oral with the boogeyman that he cannot pull back cover. He can kill you if you go to the bathroom, if you got your bed. He can kill you if you're in the kitchen. He can terrorize you in the hallway. He cannot get under the cover. How many of y'all have seen the boogeyman growing up? I've seen the boogeyman. Did he come under your cover? The boogeyman does not get in your bed. He'll stand at the foot of your bed. You might see him in the hallway, by the kitchen. You will never see the boogeyman under your cover because that's the agreement we have. And maybe we feel like if we just cover our heads up or we just act like it's not there, that it'll stop existing, the inevitable of what he's going to do. And it's good to be able to always consider the wrath of Elohim because it'll help you in your deciding on your decisions that you make. And a lot of times we don't consider him when we make decisions. We just assume that maybe he's forgotten or assume that it's past. But it could just actually be we just prolong the inevitable because he's coming like he took Mushah. Now, he didn't get those people then. He gave them some time. No doubt those people felt like they were okay because he didn't get all of them. Some died that Yom. Their ox took their sword and every each slayed his ox. So Yahuah might bestow a barak upon them. But there was others that didn't moot that Yom. He got them later. He let him know that in the Yom, I will visit their kata, their ma'al. So a lot of us in here have felt like we're okay because we came and we joined and we sat here. But the reality is that as far as you got, you hadn't gone anywhere. You didn't get away. Y'all got it? No one has ever gotten away. People get comfortable. There were people that made it to the city of refuge. How many of y'all not familiar with the city of refuge? I'm not talking about a church religion. The city of refuge was a place that Yahuah had Amar Mushah to set aside for us. These were cities that if each had done something and it was not in their law, that they could go into this place and they could stay there. And they could be free from the avenger of Dom. He did talk about them coming back out the city while the avenger of blood was still there. And if you got caught outside of that city, that's on you. Can you believe that there were people that were dumb enough to go outside of the city when you knew someone was lurking for you, not to talk to you, not to wrestle with you, but to kill you? And there were people that felt like time had passed. There were people just felt like they just had to go out. Nowadays you've been trapped up, been doing the same thing, and you just got to go out there and see. Those people move. And that's on their own head. We are in somewhat of a similar situation. We're in a city of refuge. Because of our present life and because of the present decision, past decisions we made, it caused us to have to flee. We had to get out from the other situation we had so we could get him because of the fear we had of the vision of Dom. And for some reason, we felt like we hadn't escaped, but we put ourselves back into some of the same detrimental situations, which means when it comes, that's going to be on your head. Hello? Even your cousin called tried to tell me to warn the people. He told me I made you a watchman to the Beth of Yasharon. He said, therefore I want you to hear the bar. Where was it supposed to come from? What'd you say? It's going to come from his paw. And I want you to give them warning from me. Those were not your cousin call's words. Those were Yahuah. He said, I know how to warn these people. See, when you tell them what I told them, they cannot escape. You can't use, Kennedy, and Kennedy always talking, and Kennedy, I assume, no. I want you to get them warning from me. I want you to hear what I tell you, and I want you to tell them what I told you. That's going to come from me. When I tell the Rosha that they're going to surely perish, and if they don't turn to seek to say their Kai, he said, then their dome is going to be on their hand. But you done deliver your nafash, and you telling them. Can you imagine you going to tell somebody something, and now all of a sudden somebody just pick you and say, man, do me a favor. Go tell them guys out there that I told them to stop doing what they're doing. And if they don't stop doing it, I'm going to kill them. And if you don't tell them, I'm going to kill you. You think, hold on for a minute. How I got caught up in this? You go tell them that I told them that they're going to move. Now, if you go and you tell them, and they don't do it, you have delivered your nafash. I assure you I'm going to take them. And it's going to be bad if he take you right in the course of the action that you're taking. We're going to clean up a lot of things. Y'all got it? It's time for us to clean up a lot of stuff. We talk about society woes, society's detriment, the piss poor leadership we got out in society. Let's talk about the piss poor people. You know how you getting these leaders out here? Because the people are piss poor. The people don't want a standard. The people don't want nobody to tell them what they need to do right. The people will go and get them somebody that'll tell them lies. That's the same thing he told Yeshayahu. He told him, now go. He told him to write it before him in a table. And you don't believe where he want to put it at? Put it in a sefer. And it wasn't for that day. It was going to be for the time to come. For alarm and alarm. And you know what he wanted to tell them? That this is a rebellious people. These people will tell Khazar, lying children. He told them they were Benin that would not hear the Torah of Elohim. And they'll tell the Nabaim, don't even look. Don't even tell me to, whatever vision he gave you concerning us, don't tell it to us. Huh? That's what they'll do. And they'll ask you to tell them something completely contrary and speak things that make them feel good. I will not do it. It won't happen. You guys won't get it. We have taken a long time to try to get us to where we at now. And we have pussyfooted around as the people. We messed around. You guys have had your own ideology about things, your own ideas on how things should run. I assure you, you're not going to know more than I know about this situation. We're talking about when you're dealing with the lives of people. See, every individual here, if they come down to it, you only care about yourself. You only care about yourself. Yourself is the most pressing, the most immediate situation that you're dealing with. Mine is everybody. I can't make myself a one. That part of humbling myself. Making myself of none or little importance. You can look at things that's important for you and things you want to do and make those primary and make those the most pressing things. I can't do it. I got to make sure it's the people. You guys make some bad decisions. Some of you make a lot of bad decisions. And y'all do it as a whole. Then individually, y'all do. I watch you, I sit back, I give it some time. And I watch and see where you're going and how you're going. It comes up. I see it. I see it. And I look to get with all of you and try to make sure I get everybody on page and make sure you get it right. I get a lot of questions about things and you want to know about things. And you'll do the best job you could do if you could just follow. If I couldn't follow, I wouldn't be him. I wouldn't do it. Because I'm looking at something greater than what you're looking at. You're looking at pussy and ding-a-ling. I meant it like I said it. I'm looking at your soul. Them two fellas right there don't have you thinking logical. You're not thinking logical. There's some things you'll do I wouldn't do. Oh yeah. There's some stuff you do I wouldn't do it. Wouldn't make sense on my worst day. But I look to address it. Because I don't like it. Y'all don't like something? I'm going to let you know I don't like it. I don't like what you did. I don't like it. It ain't set right with me either. I don't like a lot of stuff a lot of y'all do. I plan on getting everybody straight tonight. It's for your soul. It's for your soul. Y'all got it? I stand and do a job, and I do my job without wavering. Whatever you do, you don't ever want to put me in the middle of it. I'm the wrong person put in the middle of it. That's for every one of y'all. But I look to address it. It's naked, but I'll address it. Huh? It's always for the betterment. That's how we got to do it. Got to make sure we all get it right. What done in the dark, come to the light. Isn't that right? All right, we're going to let them get ready to sound the Kato Sarang. Then we're going to try to move forward. Isn't that right? All right. Is this suggested right? For my live streaming viewers, it won't be long. I'll be cutting that off too. It's time for everybody. Folks need to get them home. Time for people to sit down. It's getting late in the evening. Oh, it's fine. I appreciate it. It's time for everybody to get them home and get down and sit down because you need you a leader. And Billy said, you don't need you a true teacher. I wouldn't tell these people, I don't want people to sit around and make no excuses and making it say that I'm the only one doing what I'm doing. I wouldn't insult the other Isha Elohim. Y'all ever heard me tell y'all I'm the only one do this?
No, sir.
I'm the best at it?
No, sir.
I would never say that. Because at that point you lost it. There's a lot of great Isha Elohim out here doing the work. There's a lot of them. You get over 5 of them, that's plenty. It's plenty. I know it's way more than that. Don't say it, I'm just telling you. It's plenty of them. It's for you to get out here. That's the whole thing you got to do. You need to get up and get yourself from being comfortable. You need to get, that's why a lot of us ain't changed. We were comfortable. I fornicated and shacked up because I was comfortable. I drank and got high because I was comfortable. I like until you get uncomfortable. I don't see him gonna make no changes. There gotta be some cause. There's some of these people that made the trip, they gave up everything. They had to quit and leave things. It costs you something.
Yes, sir.
I told y'all before, I don't know how you think you're gonna get it without a cost. There's a cost associated with being saved. I know people want it. Everybody looking for some cheap stuff. Salvation ain't it though. It's gonna cost you everything about yourself. Gotta unravel. That's only gonna get down to the real core, who you are. I told you before, a lot of people don't like to deal with who they are. People like to lie and blame it on other people. I don't blame other people for the way I am. It's what choices you make. You got to sound decide for yourself what you can actually live with. And you need to learn how to live with the truth, first of all. That's just being honest. I don't try to be no 2 and 3 different ways. I'm the same way every time. I ain't trying to be no one way for nobody. That's the way I am. I'm going to be straight with you, straight down the middle. Because you need people to be straight with you. If you're going to make changes, somebody need to tell you the truth. You need to know the truth about yourself. Y'all hear me? If the book, if the man said the truth going to make you free, then you don't need no liar telling it to you. Ain't that right? You need somebody to tell you they're going to stand with the truth, that believe the truth. Ain't that right? That's the effect behind what you're doing. I'll go to make sure we get that thing right. We done played around long enough. It's time for us to look at it and get it straight. These young people too, these young people too, these kids too. A lot of y'all let them go too far too. There's certain stuff y'all had to get to the end. You don't certain stuff you look at a period of time. You gotta keep a law down in your house when it comes to your kids. Kids got limitations, and that's how it had to be when you got kids. That's just being honest to a lot of them. Folks, y'all let a lot of stuff go too long, or let kids do too much too long. Stuff. You can't have that stuff. You got to cut it off. Cut it off quick. They're children. And children got to be taught. They have to be disciplined in the way. Y'all can try that talking stuff. I tell you, talk with a stick. They'll be all right. You trying to live. The book told you if you beat them with a rod, they won't die. He said you'll deliver the fight from Sheol. Because they don't know how to do respect and know how to do honor. They're going to mess up. I'm telling you, he told you now, that was Yahuah told. I don't doubt what he said. I know these folks have got their own mind stuff. Well, you know the whoop. That's you if you know more than Elohim. I don't believe you. That book said if you beat him with a rod, he said he won't die because you shouldn't be trying to kill him. You got to you supposed to know how to chastise them. He said they won't move. He said, but you'll deliver them in the fight from Sheol. Y'all know that? What y'all think the purpose of why Yahuah was cutting it into a way, but letting things happen the way it was? He said, I'm trying to save you from burning later. See, we got our own mind on how you do it. What's that? Give him a little light pop. That's not what he said. He said you need to beat them that you can deliver them in the fight from Sheol. Don't y'all know Yahushua ain't a kid came along been better than him. Still had to chastise him. I don't know where these kids come from now you can't touch them. I'm going to call these little kid right here Al Capone. They used to call him Mr. Untouchable. He the only one couldn't nobody. They called him Al Capone. They said they couldn't get their hands on him to lock him down. And if you don't say here you don't whoop Yahushua, that's tight. So we had to sit down and consider. See, I'm for setting up. My whole end why I know society messed up. I don't think I know it's messed up. And a lot of the disorganization of society have come in through us. I tell you, we want to be friends with them before we be parents. Ain't nothing wrong with having fun with your kids. I wouldn't dare tell them about not to have fun with their kids. But there need to be a line. They need to know who the parent, who the child. You're still in the rearing state. You can't play with them like that. You always want to keep that respect no matter what. Who's the parent? Who's the child? You can't get it. That's the only way it's going to operate. You got to teach them that. They don't understand that. So you grown. So what's your relationship with you and Yahuah? Y'all buddies? You and Yahuah kicking around partners? You know you don't give him his respect. Isn't that right? Same thing with your kid. Isn't that right? We want to make sure we keep that level of line. That's why our society going chaotic. Because people look at my rearing, the way my parents were, the way my parents did me. What kind of kid was you? They don't never tell you all of it. What kind of kid was you? Man, which one of y'all here wasn't no sneaky liar? I'll show you, raise my hand. Which one of y'all wasn't no sneaky liar? One of them. You want sneaky? Oh, that's right. See that? Thank you. And then what your mom used, they used to pet you a little bit. And you know what? When you get it, did it seem reasonable? No. It didn't seem like they were irrational. Yes. But when you consider how you was, why y'all think somebody discipline our kid the way we do? Because we know how it is. You'll think something is light when it's a whole lot more serious than what you're doing. Yeah, a lot of times our kids look, they might wonder why you discipline like because you think about yourself. You look at how you got away with stuff and what you got away, what you snuck, they didn't catch it. You start seeing the behavior. I'm finna tighten that, get my screwdriver, pull my tube out, tighten that little ass up. I see you got loose, get my tube out. I gotta tighten that little ass up because I don't want you to get too far out there and you get yourself hurt. Y'all don't be scared to be no parent. Don't worry about no kid, nothing like I tell folks. Don't bother me, you hate me, I hate you too. And I stand flat-footed and tell you that. I'll get on my knees and look you right in the eye. I hate you more. And go right in and go to sleep. I ain't gonna be tossed through no bed. I'll never let no kid get one up on me. Won't bother me one bit. You hate me, get your shit and get out of here. Not in that week, you leaving tonight. Ain't that right? You need to be somewhere else. Then they'll learn when they start putting stuff out their mouth, you need to be able to have you somewhere to go. Exactly. That's what you need. Then you teach them, you know what I need next time to do? I'm gonna try to have somewhere to go and run my mouth. That's how you teach. Listen, this life. This is life. Life teach you stuff. When you make decisions, you make comments, you better be able to stand with it. Ain't that right? You know what they do? It make you start thinking. Yes, sir. Ain't that right? Everything come up can't come out. That's right. Ain't that right? And they start learning. It's consequences for actions. Yes, sir. Actions got to have consequences. That's that being out. That's the purpose why you chastise them. Then you start to consider. You don't have nothing to consider when ain't no consequences. What's going to happen? What are they going to do? See that? It don't get, you got to teach them. You got to set limitations for them. You got to let them know. Ain't that right? You got to bound them with something. Hello? Y'all scared to tell them? What's wrong with y'all? Hello? Yes, sir. That's what we got to do. All right. I had to tell them this stuff. They don't, I want to do stuff. I don't know. Goodness, John. I don't know. I don't know. All right. Enough of that. Sometimes I talk to myself, I don't know. It's just hard to get y'all to kind of think about things and really look at things. My vision for us is that we get it right. You don't waste as much time coming here, doing what you're doing, and then don't get what you came to get. You know, kind of one of the things, singing to the store, and you went to the store to get something, you come back, you didn't get it. You said, what were you doing? I got tied up. Sometimes you have folks go to the store, they come back with a whole list of something that went what they wanted. You know, that's a lot of us here. We came here to get right. You got everything other than what the main thing was you supposed to went there and got. And sometimes you've gone to the store and got something, you realize, that's really what I went to get. Everything else, you know, I could use, you know, I got out there, but what I went to get, and sometimes the other stuff you got will kind of persuade your mind off from your need of what you actually went for. And that's what happened with relationships. That's what happened with some career choices, education, a lot of different things. Yourself, a lot of things are getting in the way, and you'll forget the main thing, what you came here for. That's it, being honest. I tell a lot of folks be strong enough in no relationship. Relationship's serious. I never tell them, when you dating folk, man, you commend yourself to something. That's every one of y'all in here. People don't realize it's more to dating than just we just dating, we just talking. We going somewhere with this. We get ready to shape our lives a whole different way. Yes, sir. Ain't that right? It's time you're going to be getting. That's a lot of stuff. And you got to look at them, you start committing stuff, how that time going to work with you? You know the book declared he that, a man that don't have a wife can serve Elohim better than one with one. He said, because he that had one, so he care for the things of the world, how he can please them. And I get single people, they're getting so much to read here, they can't do no better than somebody with one married. They get themselves so wrapped up in the ball and the other stuff they get themselves into. See, we have to look at that man looking for somebody that can totally set themselves aside for him. See, when he talked about laying aside every weight and the qatar, you look at Yahushua. Why he didn't get him a wife when he was with him? 33 years. Would he consent? Yeah, would he commit qatar if he got one? He let it could be a weight though. See, you got to look at a man that came and they sitting around and eat, and the man said his meat was to do the will of the Abba. Right. Now, folks trying to figure out, what is he doing? He said, man, I sleep and eat it. You know what they'll tell you for people that go pro basketball, you know what they say? You got to eat and sleep it. They'll tell you, if you can't see yourself doing it, it ain't going to happen. You heard that? You got to eat. They'll tell you, you got to eat it and sleep it. Ain't it? That'd be the difference that people make. They'll tell you, they'll eat it and sleep it. They'll eat it and sleep it. Someone put the ball in the bed with them. They'll eat it and sleep it. They'll tell you they do it. Listen, they keep their mind set on whatever they got to do it. We'll get him, we'll get something going, and before you know it, it's not as pressing as it was. That's why things will come up and they'll come out, because they'll show you. You let other things get in there, and there'll be a detour. I tell anyone of y'all in here, really, and just being frank with you, the first thing y'all need to make sure first that you're saved. You can go and you can do it, and people have done it. You can do it, but I just tell you that right here, and people in here do it, can tell you and they come back and look at it, and they just sat down and made sure people were saved first, and make a whole lot different before where you get and how far you gonna go. I'm just telling you now, you'll find you're gonna get a whole lot of hang-ups. A lot of your hang-ups gonna pop up too, because that was not the most pressing thing that was on their mind. I'm telling you, you can do it. You can do it. Because we in society, we look and say, well, you know, y'all doing pretty good. You had to lot of, you know, y'all can't take much anyway. Just be flat, you can't take much. So I want you to kill out and I hit you with that word. A lot of folks don't kill out around how to tell them about that married thing. Oh, y'all know that's the server there, that's the cutter. Hey, I can cut a foot and leg off on him. I can pull the eyes out. I say something about that, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. Oh, I done died now. I gotta go, he ain't right. He don't want me to get married. And none of them have never proved out anything different. It never proved out anything different. Because you gotta look at where you at from a spiritual end before you do anything. See, people don't look at, man, when you enjoying yourself with somebody, that's a lot. That's a blood oath. Hello? It's so serious, that's what the man holding us to now. Why am I talking about Abraham and Yasakak and Yaakov? Y'all think when Abraham was circumcised, you don't think no blood came into that place? Man, this stuff a blood oath we got. Yes, sir. It's a blood oath. A man gonna attach himself, a woman gonna attach herself to it. You putting your life on the line. Y'all got it? You're putting something in it that has life. That's why in order for us to understand the validity of what he did, he took the physical, he took the word right off the old page, wrapped it up, and gave it flesh, and then let us see the dome to it. That's how we knew it had life. Yahuah told her, and the word, what he told her did? There's no way the word can bleed. So I had to let you see it. I had to take it and wrap it up and let you see it become flesh. And I let it dwell among you. You know what our covenant was, I believed with him? That he was going to be our Elohim. We were going to be here beneath, and he was going to dwell among us. Yeah. That's why you can told it became flesh and dwelt among us. And we beheld it. Yes, sir. We beheld it. We saw it. Yes, sir. When Yahuah came along in the epistle, he told her that he talked about what? He said their hands had handled it. Right. He said we handled it. Even the Debab Kai. Yes, sir. They handled it. That's what Yahushua told me. He came and he said, handle me and see. Yes, he said, you don't see a ruach of the word. He said, spiritual can't see it like when. I'm going to wrap this thing up for you. You think about a man wrap this thing up and it still ain't come to a close. That's how we look at him. So you really have to start, when you come in here, and what I need y'all to do, include me, it's everybody watching there. You got to separate yourself from your situation. From your wife, from your girlfriend, from your boyfriend, from your kids, from your job, from all the stuff you got, just so you can get yourself to a direct focal point. That you can get something done. Because a lot of times when you come with all the baggage of the things, sometimes those things can be blockers. Oh, I'm telling you. They can be blockers. They can keep what he's trying to penetrate to get through. It'll actually hinder you. Huh? Why would he tell you in the 9th chapter of the book of Oriah that if any ish will come after me? Deny himself? Take up his two and follow me? This man talked about people are harboring anything else more than him. And we are, to show you the honesty of people, who in here loves something more than Elohim? See that? One person said it. Every person sitting around said, now 2. Again, 3, that's right. And 4, 5, 6, start to come. People start to look. We all do. Do you understand? There's no way that you can just tell me that sentence and I start doing it. If any man that will come to me or follow me, let him deny himself and take up his 2 and follow me. Okay. What am I thinking in my mind I got to give up? Practically nothing. And the stuff I'm going to give up is just like when you do cleaning your house, some shit you don't want anyway. Some stuff you don't want to do. But he started coming in and saying, we got to get rid of the TV. TV. And the phone. That's all my information on now. And the computer. See, these just a couple of things. These are things, ain't nobody throwing that stuff straight out no door. Now, our phone, think about it, our phone is more precious. That thing stay with us more than anything. We talking about Yahuah Is my raw, your phone. You can call Uber, so you shall not want. You can call Grubhub, Uber Eats, I shall not want. They either take me or bring it to me. Y'all don't realize them phones everything? That's your notebook, your history, that's your records, that's everything you got. That phone is your life. You attach it to it. He looking at it, he like, I like to be your iPhone. I like for you to keep me right there with you. And then we'll make sure it stay charged up because we need it. Well, we'll make sure that we stay charged up with Yahuah. We start looking at that thing low. We start searching. You got a charger. Who got a charger? You got a charger. What kind of charger you got? You got a charger. You got a charger. Who got a charger? Because we looking at, I don't want it to die. I don't want to lose contact. Why we don't look at with him, losing contact with him? Now I try to make sure I don't lose contact with him. Certain situations I get myself involved with. It just died. You remember that thing that just died? You said, oh shoot, it just died. And say it show you how many bars you got. Yahuah do too. Hello? He'll give you at least 3 bars. At the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. He says that's how every Dabarim gonna be established. He give you some bars. It's what you do with them. I heard that thing before. You running out of bars. That thing about to die on you. We start considering. You think about Adam Cain. Can you imagine having 1 bar? What you can do with 1 bar? That thing get precious. And that 1 bar, you like, woo, I got to try to get it. And you got somebody call that, you hit me, I got 1 bar, and I got it. Let me hit you back. If I'm getting low and I'm about to lose service with Yahuah, that means I got to cut you off. Because if they come, I'm looking, I have something more important I need to do. I'm waiting on, and I don't want it to lose contact on a conversation with you right now. That's not against you. It's the fact I don't want it to die. Y'all got it? Why we can't look at that when it comes down to our relationship with Yahuah? Being able to cut off so we can save connection to him. Because that's where we at, ain't it? That's where we've been for so long. All right, let's see. We'll try to see. Let's see how you have it to go. Listen, this is Romans 15:4. All right, listen.
For whatever Nikatab before,
For whatever was written before,
Nikatab for our allotment,
it was only written for our learning, to teach us, to show us, to instruct us.
that we through endurance and the coon of the Ketubim might have tikva.
Yeah, I have to. Let me say this, start with my young people. The word, if you guys don't understand it, is real essential to us. Can we look at what the word essential is? Sure, something vital. And I think what happened for all of us, if things aren't duly noted or known, then you don't really take it with the amount of weight it should have. You know, it really don't. So we want to kind of look at some things that we can. I don't have nothing made up. Listen, absolutely necessary, extremely important. Y'all got that, young people? Y'all write that down. Absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary. And what we'll do, we'll look at the root of absolutely from absolute. Absolute. When they get finished, we want to get it. It's important for all of us to know this. Y'all understand that? It's essential. That means it's absolutely necessary. Huh? Absolutely necessary. Y'all understand that? Absolutely necessary. How important? If I come through and I say, what you say, what you got? Say, this is important. How many of y'all think that's light, if it's something important? How we tell us, I need to tell y'all something that's important. What do I mean? Keep talking, keep going. You start. What if I tell you it's extremely important? That's kind of pressing, urgent. Extremely. That's the word. See, we never really looked at things. We just say word because we figured it kind of, I've heard the word, I have an idea how it's used. But when it's absolutely, when it's extremely important, that makes a difference. So if we took it to that level of understanding, then when we get it, then how should I listen to it? Since it's absolutely necessary, since it's extremely important, then how should I listen to it? Your doctor come in and tell you they need to tell you something, and it's extremely important. It's absolutely necessary that you know it. What do? You start laughing and playing? What do? And you get a concern. Because this is my doctor. My doctor tell me, they need to tell me something. They're saying it's extremely important. It says absolutely necessary, I know this. That means essential. And that's what Yahuah wants to know about the word. Now this is their word and their definition, but this will be about the best they got to get you to understand how present it is that you understand it. Y'all got it? And I know you guys don't. You're taking a lot of things for granted, and it's my fault. It's my fault. I had the Godfather say, you know, I have a sentimental, as you can see, a sentimental value. My kids, and they speak when they should be listening. Because sometimes I say something and take y'all a minute to shut up. And I just let y'all do. Other people say, hey. I said, well, there's no need. That's just where they're at. But Yahuah have never heard it from him. That's why you can hear when he spoke with so much vigor and with the thunder and lightning, so he could get their complaint. Like, why don't like nobody yelling at me? He said, that's not why I can get your attention. He's like, that's the only way I can get your attention. I had to make the ground shake. They had to see the lightning. You had to see the flashing. He said, that's the only way I can get it. You know what they realized? This must be extremely important. This must be absolutely necessary. You know, that's what it took for them to believe that their life was on the line. Why you don't think when you do stuff, your life on the line? You guys don't. Let's just be honest, because you don't view it as absolutely necessary. It's not extremely important. So therefore, you miss a lot of what you need. And that's why you stunt your growth. Because you don't realize this is something that you got to live with. This is the only way you can live. For everybody that's living today, these people that don't acknowledge them, they don't realize the only way you can live is because of this. We can say, man, look at these people out here. I don't see how these people can keep doing. I don't see how these people, how many of y'all can't say, they don't make sense how these people can be out here and be gay. It don't make no sense how these people out here raping. It don't make no sense how these people out here robbing. It don't make no sense how these people out here killing. You know what he look at? He said it don't make no sense that people out here commit any sin. All he looking at when we put the extreme on it, he said, I can't see how nobody commit no sin. See, we'll hit the bigger pressing thing because those are more obvious. And you can almost get anybody. Y'all all agree, ain't it? It don't make no sense if nobody be homosexual, right? Don't y'all all agree it don't make no sense if nobody be out here raping? Yes, sir. Does it make sense for somebody just go around here just shooting and killing people? No. We can all agree. You know why? Because these are extremes. You ain't going to believe it, Dane, that we don't do. These are things that we don't do. So that's why we can agree. Let's see, who'll look at, if you commit anything wrong, I label all y'all the same. Right. And the reason why we don't see it that way, because we hadn't saw how this is, how essential the word is to show you that and tell you that. He wants us to get away from minimizing and marginalizing sin. Right. He said all Rosha is sin. Which would be all unright. He said all of it is kata. All of it. And see, when we start to learn the levels to all of them way out the same way, and which makes sense. You know what he want me to keep in my house? But what about how I look at sisters? I'll be honest, my eye don't let me see a sister the same way a fornicator. It don't let me see a liar the same way I see a child molester. It don't let me do it. You know what he look at? That I need to anoint your eyesight that you can see. I need to anoint your eyesight. See, when we start labeling everything the same, you know, people, we don't want to be nowhere with people too extreme. Sometimes you go play, people just too extreme. Don't you know everything is entail or curtails your life? Everything you do got your life attached to it. Yeah. Y'all know that? Yeah. Oh, wow, that's tight. That's tight. You got a life attached to it. Hello? You think about Yasakal, our Abba. Former Abba, one we made the bereft with. You know how important those boys were to them? That was a part of their life. Just like when they came to Joseph and they came down to Benjamin. If something happened to that boy, it'll surely kill him. Because his life was attached to him. He had tied his life into that boy's life. He looked at the bereft that Elohim gave him. It was important to make sure nothing happened to him. And he knew that would entail his own life. If something happened to this one, it'll take my gray hair straight to the ground. See, we don't look at when we get away from the debar and we get ourselves in these situations, you pretty much have taken away from your life. You have to detach yourself from him. Elohim had given us life. That was through the Son. That's how we got our life, through the Son. Y'all know that? It's important for us to stay attached to what gives us life. It's important to. Just like a person that can't hardly breathe, they're not snatching that oxygen mask out. Now if I can't breathe, I'm going to keep that thing till I can breathe on my own. And sometimes you need to keep it a little longer because you're not where you need to be at. And sometimes people ready to detach and get away when that's not where you at yet. You might want to be, but you're not where you need to be yet. We got to keep ourselves attached to this thing. It's dangerous for you to have your own mind, and your mind don't comply, and it conflicts with the word. He'll establish some things for you. Let's see. Did we look at what absolute is, the root of absoluteness? We can turn off for a second. What is? Oh, I know you will. Appreciate it. You wait for them to finish right. Appreciate it. Let's see what an absolute is. So this is the root of absolutely. They just put a suffix on it. Not qualified or diminished in any way, totally. viewed or existing independently and not in relation to other things, not relative or comparative. That's what an absolute. Y'all see this? Viewed or existing independently and not in relation to other things, not relative or comparative. Y'all see that? That's an absolute. Yahuah is an absolute.
Right.
He asked us a question, to whom shall you compare me to? He asked, to whom will you liken me to? He was trying to tell you he was an absolute.
Yeah.
You can't compare me to anything, and I exist. That's what Yahuah means, the existing one.
Yes, sir.
I exist, I always will exist. Independently, you can't compare him to anything. He's an absolute. Y'all got it? So when we get the essentials of him, they're very important to us. They're very necessary because they come from someone that's an absolute. He's sustained by his word. Can you imagine to sustain yourself? He let us know, I can keep you. And I'll give you what keeps me. It's my word.
That's right.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Let's see something. See if that's 6 and 63, Yahuah. They call it John. Listen.
It is the Ruach that quickeneth.
Well, I tell you what, take it up to 60, 61.
When Yahushua knew in himself that his Talmudim murmured at it, he said unto them,
What did he ask them?
doth this offend you?
Well, they put the Romans, the Latins, the Romans said that this scandalized you. Wow. Okay. Which would probably be offensive. Go ahead.
What and if ye shall see the Ben of Ish ascend up where he was before?
What happened?
It is the Ruach that quickeneth, the Basar profiteth nothing.
Well, what happened?
The Dabarim that I speak unto you,
What are they?
Ruach, and they are Kai.
They are essential. They are very necessary. That's why it's important for us to look and consider these things daily. It's important for us to look at trying to create this relationship. This is the thing that you will notice. See if that's 5. I don't know why. Let's see. Let me see. 5 and 23. Maybe I think I'm on. Are you can say something now? Let's see. Matter of fact, take it up to 20. 20. Come down. Let's see something. Listen.
For the Abba, Ahab the Ben, and sheweth him all things that himself doeth, and he will shew him greater works than these,
For what
that ye
reason?
may marvel.
Hold on. Go ahead.
For as the Abba cum up the moot, and quickeneth them, even so the Ben quickeneth whom he will.
Okay. Listen.
For the Abba shafet no ish, but hath committed all mashpah unto the Ben.
Hold yourself. Give me a relation. Give me a correlation to this that you will use. Okay. Listen to further, and it's something you've read, you've been taught for. For neither doth the Abba shafet any ish, but had given all mashpah to the Ben. Give me a situation. I got how many hands up? 1, 2. Chris was first. Let me see your situation. Who you gonna use? Let's see what we
Pharaoh
do.
and Joseph.
Who?
Pharaoh and Joseph.
Okay. Who you gonna use? Yeah. Why Dawood? Hold on, let me get back with you. Who you got? He can't remember. Pharaoh. Who you gonna say, Dexter? Adam? Who else got? Who else? Kira, who you got? Yusuf and Pharaoh. Who else we got? Who is that back there? Ryan, who you gonna say? Who else I got? Hello? That was it? Which answer? That's exactly the one. Y'all were using Pharaoh, and when Pharaoh committed to Joseph's hands, and no hand of nothing was supposed to move except by his paw, by his word, the bar. But you don't find where he actually made a judgment call about a situation, okay? But we do know it was given him, so you wouldn't be wrong. The better explanation on it would have been exactly what it. I just stopped you. I know what you were talking about. When it came to Daoud and it came to Shalom, and the reason why you would look at them, because he did talk to him, and he let him know that he was wise.
Right.
And he let him know, and he went over situations with him. He told him about the people that let him sat down and ate at his table.
Right.
And he told him how to show con to him.
Right.
He told him how the other one, how he had grieved him.
That's right.
He said he grieved me when he did that. When he cursed in the Benjamite, he said he grieved me. And he told him, you wise, very discreet. He said, make sure that his gray head don't go to the ground. He said, make sure you sit him there and make it be rough and hard for him. Right. So the Abba, which he was, Daoud, he didn't pass the mashpat. He committed it to the bin.
That's right. That's right.
So he let him make a decision on who was going to live. He told him, he said, he showed me kindness.
Right.
Let him live. But the other one that grieved him. How many of y'all don't remember the situation? All right, we'll make sure we get it. I want to talk. See if that's the second chapter, Aleph Malachim. 2 and 1. They call it First King. King. Okay. All right, let's see what happened. Listen.
Now the Yamim of Daoud drew nigh that he should move.
Mm-hmm.
And he charged Solomon his being, saying, I go the way, the Darak of all the Arat. Be thou strong, therefore, and shew thyself a ish.
Mm-hmm.
And keep the charge of Yahuah, thy Elohim, to halak in his Darak, to keep his statutes, and his Amar, and his Mashpat, and his testimonies, as it is katab in the Torah of Mushah, that thou mayest understand in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself.
Okay.
That Yahuah may continue his debar, which he spake concerning me, saying, if thy benim take heed to their darak, to halak before me in a mock, with all their law and with all their nafash, there shall not fail thee, said he, a ish on the throne of Yasharal. Moreover, thou knowest also what Joab, the ben of Zeruiah, did to me, and what he did to the 2 captains of the Sabot of Yasharal.
What happened?
Unto Abner, the ben of Ner, and unto Amasa, the ben of Yethar, whom he slew, and shed the dam of war in Shalom.
See that? It was peace. And he said, and he caused Dom to come. What happened?
And put the dam of war upon his girdle that was about his loins, and in his shoes that were on his regal.
Mm-hmm.
Do
So
therefore.
you know what you're going to find right now? That's you're going to find out when Yahushua will come. That's right, going to be red in his apparel. And you know what the book told you? Who know what I'm going to use? Guess. He told me they say peace and safety. There's certain destruction coming. He'll do the same thing. That's what he just told you he did. He shed Dom, and it was a time of peace. And he put it upon his girdle. and it was upon his regard. When Yahushua would come back, that's the way he asked him in the book of Yeshua. You want to know who did that with red in his apparel. We were trying to figure out he going to shed blood in the time of peace. He told you that they're going to tell you peace and safety. He said then sudden destruction going to come upon you, just like a woman in travail, and they shall not escape.
That's right.
All right, go ahead. I ain't going to get it. He told you, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it also be in the coming of the being of the east.
Right.
For in the day they were bold the flood, you know what they were doing?
Eating and drinking.
They were worried. It was a famine, and the people were hurting, and the people were crying, and people were watching. They were eating and drinking. Why you think they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage? Yeah. It was peaceful. He said until the flood came and took them all away.
Yeah.
That's why they were written the 4 times, so it'd be for your learning.
That's right.
They're going to think everything's going to be okay. He's going to come, he's going to slay them. Same thing Yahuah did. He brought them in and made them throw a party. Isn't that right? And he took them in and had everybody take their sword and told them life for life. Any man escape is your life. What you think they were going to do? Anybody getting by me? You got to run them down and kill them. Life for life.
That's right.
I can't let you get away. What you going to cut with a man who life for life? You can't do it. What then you going to cut, man? Come on, man. Come on. If I do this, he going to kill me.
Right.
You good as dead. That's why if it was, I give you so much money, then somebody can give you more money than that, then what you going to do? You see what I'm saying? Who do I give you a car? If you don't kill me, I give you 2 cars. But I put it on the table and put it life for life. Can't cut no deal. That job I got, this life for life. Okay? Let's see. Therefore, thou shalt deal with him. How?
Do therefore according to thy wisdom,
And?
let not his whore head go down to the kubar in Shalom.
See that? That's what he told him. Now who doing this? The Abba doing this? The Ben. Listen.
But shew kindness unto the Beni of Bar Ziliah the Gileadite, and let them be of those that eat at thy table.
Yeah.
For so they came to me when I fled because of Absalom thy op.
Listen.
And behold, thou hast
Hold
with
on for a
thee.
minute. And see, that's the same thing. Now you just heard what he told them about show kindness to them and letting them sit at their table. Yahushua told them we were going to sit down and eat and drink with him at his table. That's right. But you saw they did. They drew nigh to him. Yeah. See, anybody can come to you in your high time. They can't hear him. He was in a low time. He's out fleeing, and they showed kindness to me. He said, let them be the one that sat down and eat. So when Yahushua told us that he was going to let us sit down and eat and drink at his Abba table, that was only because we were going to be the people that did the same. We showed kindness to him. Hello? He ain't going to believe what he told you. He said, when I was hungry, he said, you fed me. When I was naked, you clothed me. And they want to know, when was I hungry? When were you naked? He said, when you did it to the least of these, you did it to me. Hello? Wow. I don't know how people did it. Daoud looked at it when the food went sat around and wouldn't recompense him. He said, I kept his men when they were in the field. When Abigail tried to tell about when she came to save her husband's life, the man literally named him was stupid. Just stupid. And Daoud was upset with him. Daoud looked at, he wanted some things and he sent by them out and told her, said to Abedin to tell him to send it to him. And he would not recompense Daoud. And Daoud came to kill him. Because he looked at, I kept his men when they were in the field. I ain't let no hurt come to him. Right. And he denied me when I asked him. He was going there, he said, I ain't going to let him live. But his wife did the same thing Yahushua did for us. She made intercession. That's right. Right. She became an intercessor. That's the same thing she did. She became an intercessor. That's what Yahushua done did up, but you ain't going to believe it. They don't even wind up still getting it. Yep. I told you, sometimes you're doing it, delaying the inevitable. That's why it's important for all of us to sit around and look. This is what I want everybody to think about and get. Stop thinking you got away from something. Because he been giving you enough time to see whether or not you'll stay or see if you'll go back to play. That's what he found out with the Benin. He said they sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to play. That's important for it to realize. Sometimes we'll think situation gotten past, it's been gone a long time. And sometimes it's good the situation setting that waiver to keep you from going back to it. Because he's still out there. Let's see what happened. Come on.
And behold, thou hast with thee Shimei, the ben of Gerah, a Benjamite of Baharim, which all me with a grievous all in the Yum when I went to Mahanaim, but he came down to meet me at Yarden, and I Shabbat to him.
What you said?
By Yahuah, saying, I will not put thee to moot with the sword.
You see what he told him? He said, he made a berith with him that I wasn't going to kill him. He right, he did. He came and he met him. He begged Dawood for his life. He begged him. He said, that was a bad decision I made. I should have never done it. And he begged for his life, and Dawood made a berith with him. He said, I won't kill you with a sword. Not me. Not while I live it. I won't do it. But what happened?
Now therefore, hold him not guiltless.
Why?
For thou art a wise ish.
Listen.
And knowest what thou oughtest to do unto him.
Pray for him.
But his hoar head bring thou down to the kubar with dawn.
Gut him. See that? It still came back to him. And you know what you learn now? That the Abba judge of no ish. He committed it to the ben. And he told you, and he had the authority to give life and moot to whom he will. That's what he did. He told the other one, don't kill them. Let them be the one that sat down at your table. And he let them know why, because they met me when I fled from Absalom. Hello?
Yes, sir.
The others, he told me exactly what he to do, kill them. That's how we learned that just like the Abba can judge, we learned that the Son could do it. Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see what happened. Let's go back to what we had. Yucatan chapter 5. Where we left off at? 22? All right, listen. No, we can just read it again. It's all right.
Yes, sir. For the Abba shafted no ish, but he hath committed all mashpah into the ben.
Listen.
That all anashim should kabad the ben, even as they kabad the Abba. He that kabad not the ben, kabad not the Abba, which hath sent him.
Come on.
Aman, I say unto you, he that shama my debar, and aman on him that sent me, hath alam kai, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from moot unto kai.
So now, based off of the statement we heard him make just before we got him, so what is the whole purpose of giving him this authority so that you can see that he does the same work? He told you the 17th verse, hitherto the Abba work and our work. He was trying to show you the identical workings. Now the Abba had fear, and people feared him just like we learned when he gave him the Amarta and the commandments. It was based upon them dying. So it only makes sense when you set him a lockup that you would give him the authority that he could give life or he could give moot to whom he will.
Right.
And now the Son has come along and he looks to get the same accreditation as the Father by doing the same work. By saying, just like the Father can kill and let live, so can I. And the only reason he gave that to him, guess why? So that everybody will honor him just like the Father. Huh? You kill and let live just like your daddy. That's why he committed it to his hands. Because as long as the Father was doing it, you would never see the Son to that same capacity. So if the Father sat back and gave it to the Son, then people would feel the Son like they feared the Father. He's telling you why. See, when he told you he could do that, listen why. This is the reason why. All Anashim made Kabar honor the Ben as they honor the who?
Abba.
See that? That's why he gave it. That don't make sense. Why he do it himself? Because I want you to honor the Son. Hello? The only reason he could be a father is because of the Son.
Right.
Hello? A son is a possessor, right? He's an inheritor. You couldn't get into Malkut. This salvation that people are trying to get, there's no way you can get it unless he view you as a son.
That's right.
Why would he give it to you? Hello? And because Moshe came across a situation where Ish had Mut and he only had Banu. And these sisters looked at, this is one of these situations nobody planned for. That a man had nothing but daughters. Typically, they had a son. The son was the inheritor. Yasharal was called a son. Y'all got it. Always as a masculine. But we had a situation that came up where there were daughters and they wanted to know about their inheritance. And they were right. They could be possessor. That's why he told you to come out from among them. Said Yahuah, be badal, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. You ain't gonna believe what he tells you. And you should be my sons and daughters. He already knew somebody gonna take it personal. Hello? So he covered himself. Sons and daughters can inherit. And already it made sense because of the Torah. Mushah had came back and he talked to Yahuah. He told them they were right. Yeah. Their father had no benim. He had no sons. Then those daughters can inherit. That's why it made sense that he said, you should be my sons and daughters. Right. Saith Yahuah. Right. And already you would accept that not because it was written then, because it was written aforetime. Right. That the daughters could inherit. Right. See, don't read, we took it because they read in 2 Corinthians 6:17. I couldn't do that. I had to take it because the Torah justified it. Hello? That's why the book said that's why you can be justified when you judge it, and you can overcome without a judging. Right. We talked about a few things why we make certain statements so you can be justified. Got to be justified in your statements. Okay. So this is what happened. So that all Anashim may honor the Ben, even as they honor the Abba. He that honoreth not the Ben honoreth not the
Abba,
which had
sent him.
Okay, listen. That's Shalom. Listen.
Aman, I say unto you.
Now what happened?
He that shama my debar.
And do what?
Aman on him that sent me.
What?
Hath alam kai.
Listen.
And shall not come into condemnation.
Yes.
But is passed from Mut unto kai.
Listen.
Aman, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the Mut shall shama the call of the being of Elohim, and they that shama shall kai. For as the Abba hath kai in himself, so hath he given to the being to have kai in himself.
Yes.
And hath given him authority to execute mashpah also,
Why?
because he is the ben of Ish.
Yeah, Ben of Adam. Go ahead.
Ben of Adam. Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming, in the which all that are in the Kubar shall shama his call, and shall come forth they that have done Tub unto the resurrection of Kai, and they that have done Rasha unto the resurrection of damnation. I can of mine own self.
Hold on, do what now?
I can of my own self.
Listen what he told you. Tell him what you can do.
Do nothing.
He just told you that the Son was not an absolute.
Right. Right.
Now you had to differentiate. The Son is not an absolute. You can't be begotten and have the same qualities and attribute as a absolute. You can't be equal to. You cannot be equal. It makes no sense. Yahuah is an absolute.
Right.
What did he just tell you he do? He said, I can do nothing of myself. Because this is the thing. Let's show you something. This is how smooth he is in conversation that you don't pay attention to. See if that's Philippians chapter 2 and 7. Hold on. Listen.
But
Make it at verse 6, I'm sorry. Make it 5. Listen.
Let this mind be in you.
This is what he told you. Let this who?
Mind be in you.
Which was where?
Also in Mashiach Yahushua.
So we said that. Let's go and find out what kind of mind. Give me 2 and 1, please.
Yes, sir.
All right. Listen.
If there be therefore any nakum in Mashiach,
Yeah.
if any comfort of Ahab,
Yeah.
if any fellowship of the Ruach,
Uh-huh.
if any bowels and rakam, fulfill ye my shusha,
Listen,
that ye be like-minded,
we are one mind. They put like mind. We'd be the same thing, like-minded, one mind.
having the same ahab, being of one accord, of one mind.
So, and then we're going to agree. That's the whole thing about it. It's no way, you just can't say be of the same mind. The only way to be of the same mind is by having the same information. Then we have to all among the same thing. That's the only we're going to do it, to have one mouth to say one thing, then we all got to be in agreement. So a lot of stuff people think that you just get from reading the word. You can't just get it. You have to get understanding. That's what they're talking about, all you're getting, get understanding.
That's right.
Because you try to get something just from reading, you got to understand it first. Y'all get it? So he started talking about the bowels. He started talking, because now what was he trying to get us to look at that you guys were talking? I need hand. What'd you say? Thank you. Inward part. So that's something we didn't, because we heard about, but you don't hear refer, but it only makes sense, Boston, when you start looking at how they sacrifice, made zabah. It was always the kidneys, the cold, the heart. So when you start talking about bowels, it makes sense when you telling people, when you've gone and you wrote letters in the 12th chapter book of Romans, and you beseech them to present their bodies. So that means a living, because you got to, if you don't clear up zabah, we ain't crazy. That's an offer, that's a slaughter. So you got to clear it up. It has, you got to look at all the tangibles to it. Slaughter. That's a butcher, like you butchering up. Zabah. That's an offering. That's a sacrifice. Which kind? I need a kai. That means taking all your inward parts and making live. When you look at your hurts and your feelings, and your loves, your joys, your connive, where that's at? It's on my hand right here. It's written on my hand. Where is it at? So I want you to zabah. I want you to be a kai zabah, sacrifice. That means you're going to dedicate your whole parts to him. When we talked about the man Mikyah, who had a house of Elohims, and he had taken the money from his mom. She told him what she said she did with that money, part of it. Huh? She said, I set all that aside for it. She said, she said, listen, I had all that set aside for it. I didn't keep, and shout, that's why I shouted to her, I kept back nothing. Him and said, well, listen, give me tithe of it. No, she said, when he told his mother, she said, the money that you owed off, he said, I took it. And she told him Baraka be him, or Elohim. She said, because I wholly dedicated for it. All of it. And that's what you got to do. You got to dedicate yourself. See, we only try to just look at the surface part. He want the inward parts. The stuff he told you, look at one. Let me see what one at. Let me tell me where it's at. If there be any consolation, comfort in the Mashiach, if it any comfort or what? That's on your outside? Inside. If any fellowship of the
Ruach,
any bowels of mercies. So like they're coming from the inside. He understands what it takes to complete a man and what it takes to defeat a man. A lot of times what we start at coming was on the flesh side. Start wearing pants for the female. But we're going to start wearing tank tops or start wearing this. But the inside, it was a tank top in the heart and a pair of breeches for the women. So until you learn how to clean from the inside, the outside ain't going to get no better. He already tried that. Yaakov took his family. He tried to get them because he understands first it's surface for us. It's all surface. It's all show. That's why he told her, take it and bury it. You think that his Ashar done gave all that up because you just told me to take it and bury it? I stole the damn thing. I stole it because I like it. I was planning on keeping it. Now you told me to take it and bury it, change my clothes and be immersed like us being immersed, be baptized. Because we going to the Beth Elohim. If I ain't clean this, we can keep burying all you want. It ain't went nowhere. The figure of itself is in the ground, but the heart I have for it is still him. That's why he realized something. I can't take your surface worship where you put your hands up and praise me. Because there's something else and now you praise too. I need to get what's on the inward parts of you. That's why we've been faltering. That's why we've been so far behind. Because people don't really look at it that way. Hello? That barren stuff ain't dead. Now he brought them out Mizraim. Mizraim never left those people. Why they kept mentioning it? The cucumbers. Them people never left Mizraim. See, he started from the physical first. You weren't supposed to go back. It never left their heart. That's why it kept coming back up. Why you think Dawood would say the word he hid in his law? See, so I took the word and let it occupy the inside of me. How was I going to keep from sinning? See, people just think about just taking a word and putting it. So no, you put it, when you take it, when Yahuah came in, even with this about, okay? When they will offer up different things, you know, when Yahuah come in, he will fill the temple, the watchman. He will fill it. So what else could be there? And when he will fill it, you know what happened? They couldn't even stand. It was too strong. When he would come in, it will fill it. And they couldn't even stand. They couldn't even minister to it. They couldn't do it. He will fill the place. He come in, it will force them out. So this is what he's looking at. For all of this saved and been saved. He's trying to figure out, if I came in, I don't see how you can still have that. Because his ruach is such of a force, it pushes things out. It moves things. So I don't see how you can still have a little life, some drinking. He said, I don't see how you can have it. Because when people stood to do it, when I came and filled the place, they couldn't even stand. Right. They had to get out the place. Right. So it's why it don't make sense for a person to be saved and still have those attributes. He's going to say, because I fill the place. They knew that of a certain. When he filled the place, you couldn't stand. Hello? Even they declared how the great and notable day of Yahuah had come, and they want to know, and who gonna be able to stand? Hello? That's what they want to know, who was gonna be able to stand. He gonna fill the place. Even when he come back here in the 6th chapter book of Kazun, they told him he came down, they're gonna be asking the rocks to fall on them. They're gonna flee from him. Because when he come in and occupy the place, there's no way you could be here. And the people fled. What did I don't tell you when he just heard the call? Man, I ran. There's no way to stand here. How you going to stand before him? So if he put a ruach in you, that's why it doesn't make sense that you can possess the ruach and you can still have those attributes of the world. That you can still do the things of the world. It don't make sense. Hello? That's kind of saved, not all the way saved. See, the way they would have looked at things a lot different than us. They would have had to understand we had, but just from what they saw and from what they knew, certain things they may say, the Lord is in this place. And they called the Lord. The folks look at, and all them people in there. Right. That don't make sense. Never seen that before. You saying Yahuah is in you, and they still see the same characteristics. It don't make sense. He'll force it out. That's right. These are the things we're looking at we're going to change. When he come in, everything else got to go. Y'all got it. But we never looked at it that way. We thought that, but he don't try to tell you. He said, listen, so this is what he asked you in 2 Corinthians 6 chapter. He asked you, so this make it much sense like light and day being together? Yahushua and Satan? He said they don't have no communion because we don't agree. He told you about agreeing. What, same mindset? He said, what agreement? Right. In order for me and him to be together, that means he and I had to agree because two can't walk together itself. So how you going to say, well, you know, somehow can't, you know, you could be like have Satan and, you know, devil in your heart. I mean, God and the devil in your heart. You know what I'm saying? You just got to make sure the devil, he said, do you understand that means he and I have to agree? Right. We would have to consent to do this. Right. Me and him can't occupy the same place. That's why in the 12th chapter book of Cause he told you, listen, it was war. I told you how it came down. Yeah. He like, you can't be here. It's war. That's right. He said it was war. And you know what he was? He gave the devil right here a little space. The devil said, listen here, I don't need a whole lot. He said, I'm like Osra. And now for a little space. The book told you, wasn't no place found for him. He said, no place. He was cast down. He let him know, you're from beneath, I'm from above. Right. He said, you can't stay here. When Yahuah filled the place, I don't know, one behavior can work. Him and everything with him had to go. He said, I ain't keeping none of this shit up here. Tell me, can I say he had left? He has nothing up here. He said, you know, he has nothing here. I cast him and everything he had out. But for some reason, he ain't strong enough to get him out your life. Or did you set him up a habitation? Right. This is the thing we got to ask ourselves. All the wrestling, all in mind, and we try to logic out of why and why we can't, because you got to give him a habitation. He got to have a habitation. Hello? Just like when he left, you say he made that move before with Denzel Washington. What was that move? Falling. And every time what he had to do? Touch something. When he catch him out of the man, what he want to know? Can I get in them pigs? In the movie, they show you going in a cat. Then a deer, he kept moving. They steal stuff from the book. People, he got to have somewhere to habitate. That's what he was trying to show. You can stop him, you start giving him a place to habitate. All he needs a little space in your mind, a little place in your heart. He get in your inward part, you done. That's your vitals. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All the stuff they did to Yahushua was surface. Hello? Come on, we're finna down. 2, so I can get y'all finna, come on.
Fulfill ye my shusha, that ye be like-minded,
One mind.
having the same ahab,
Yeah.
being of one accord, of one mind.
They say, and agreeing. Listen.
Let nothing be done through strife or vain kabod, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves.
See that? Listen why.
Look not every each on his own things, but every each also on the things of others.
Who you gonna be mimicking? Yahushua. Who else you gonna be Yahushua? Who else you gonna be? Who else you gonna be mimicking? So a lot of times we mimic things that ain't him. So who you mimicking? That's what he looked at. He looked on the things of other, not on things itself. Told you he didn't want to die, but he looked at for what cause he came into the rise. It was for your sake, right? He told him when the voice came, he said, it didn't come for my sake. It came for yours. Because it was about you more than it was of him. And we start thinking like that, a lot of stuff will dissolve. A lot of stuff will dissolve. That's the mindset we got. We got to teach the young people that. We got to teach it to ourselves. They got to watch us maintain that, baby. You can't get it for the night. Then you change up by Shabbat. Then you're somewhere else by Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, back around. This is something you got to continue to maintain. When Yahuwah come in and fill the place, nothing else can stay there. Nothing else can stay there, but you got to clean it first. Okay? He don't come and do cleaning. He gave up no more than he came out. How many of y'all remember our Torah teach us about how to clean our house? When Yahuwah told you he won't come and clean the house? He not. He gave them instructions on how to do it. He gave us instructions on how to do it too. Yeah? How you going to purify your nefesh? Through? How? See that? But see, think about this. How would it? Seeing you purified your heart, they say, in obeying the truth. No, that can't work. You got to have a love for it. You got to have a strong attachment to it, to want to do it. Everything, nothing I do wrong, I want to leave. That's what's comfortable. That's what's easy. I have to have a love for it. And he said, and don't pretend. You know how many times we've been in church, we pretended. Pretend to shout, pretend to cry, pretend to do these things. And ourselves, we didn't think. When you come back and think about it, it was pretend. It made sense. Now we learn. He said, "How you look? That show you how much you knew about her through." It was I did all that stuff. Man, I did all that stuff. I prayed and shouted. I cried. Did you do it and weren't pretending? Come on. When I said pretending because of this, I was shacking up when I did it. Or I was sincere when I cried, but I was shacking up. So I was sincere. Pretending. Drinking. But I can't, he said, it was pretended. Now he said, you gotta have love, it gotta be unpretended. It's just not when you get in the building, it's something that gotta stay with you. And that's our goal. We wanna perfect this. Don't y'all wanna perfect this? Yes, sir. Everybody got time to live no lies, they time to live the truth. They man are giving us a great opportunity to come back to consider, say, listen, sit down and consider. Consider, mend your ways. Mend your ways. Come and repair them. That's what we did. Listen, they went back and they fixed the Beth Elohim. What happened to it when they had to fix it? It had breaches. Put the doors up. What happened to the reason they had to repair it? It was torn down. It was burned down. Why? Huh? Didn't upkeep it. Took out the what? Kicked out the land. Lost the book. They committed Qatar. But to show you what put them in that situation. Now, they went back to put it back up. Were they successful? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. He is exactly right. They were successful because they were doing the same thing. Make sense? It shouldn't. They couldn't have put it back up if they were doing the same thing. He even told you with Asu. He said Asu said he was going to return the bill. He said, I'm going to throw it down. You know, Asu tried it because we did it. He said he was going to go back. He was going to rebuild it. He said he may put a, he said, but I'm going to throw it down. He let him know I'm going to throw it down because I already set myself against him. He let us put it back because we had to recognize our ways first. We didn't have the same way we put it back. That made no sense. What was that going to teach us? The place was burned up. We didn't learn through all the not even warned us before. So we went and put it back with the same behavior. What are we going to learn? It don't matter what we do, he'll let us come back. That's what we were going to learn. That's not the message. I want you to know what your and you know what that taught them putting it back? That work wasn't done in a day either. Right. Guess what that taught them? It take a long time to put stuff back. That you know that hard work, the vigor, the stuff they had to go through, and the criticism taught them. Really, had we not messed up, we wouldn't have to do this. Right. Why know they walked in as soon as they confessed they got right, it went back. People want to know why I got to go from so far, why I got to start all the way back over. It's because of you. Hello? It's because of you. He said his share was being blasphemed among the Goyim. He said because of you. Hands, where that came from concerning that? Come on, that's fine. Daoud, tell him. Go ahead. Yes. What about Michelle? Yeah, right. Exactly right. He told them if they hear about if you destroy their people as one Ish, he said they're going to hear it. He was concerned about his Shem. Then he looked at, man, these people, the people that really talk against me, it's because of you. They start wearing some of the guilt of it. He said it's because of you. It made sense for him to punish them. Do y'all not know a lot of people that won't be saved, ain't going to be saved? He looked at and that don't take on the real belief that they have, it's because of us. That's what he told them. That put fault on them. And it made them look at how they need to clean their ways up. Right. Because these people are going against you or talking against you and won't believe you because of me. I need to get myself together. That's right. Okay. He laid it on their hand and let them know. His share was being blasphemed. He said, among these Goyim, because of you. Let's see what he told us. 5.
Let this mind be in you,
well,
which was also in Mashiach Yahushua.
Makes sense. He taught you about being like-minded, the same conversation, the same way behaving. Now he tell you now, he moving you from each other and saying now, I'm going to pull everybody to him. First, I'm going to unite you guys together. Then I'm going to get you over to having the same mind with him. Hello? Hello? Yes, sir. First thing he talked about was us being together. Makes sense because that'll be at the end. First thing we need to do is do this. Let this mind be in you. How's you going to get a mind with her compassion? Right. How's you going to get this? Going to get the different thing that he asked us to have because we got to be able to do what he did. Right. You got to get the same mind he had. Who we going to use? Who we going to use? So it makes sense. At the end, you'll look at when we get this mind, then we'll be able to work together. Come on. That's right. Let's say, let this mind be in you, which was where?
Also in Mashiach Yahushua.
See, but I can't do that because he's the Son of God. He gave him a different mind. So you do have the ability to have the same mind he had. It don't make sense to tell you if you don't.
That's right.
Because the way we were taught, Jesus was so high. He was not an absolute. He was dependent upon. Yeah. The man said, I can do nothing of myself. Right. Mm-hmm. Listen.
Who, being in the form of Elohim.
Wow. In the form of? Listen.
Thought it not robbery to be equal with Elohim.
Wow. And did what?
But made himself of no reputation.
And how did he do that?
And took upon him the form of an abad.
He didn't want you to look at two absolutes. It was all about getting you back to the Father. He used his son to get you back to the Father. So to make sure, you know, these folks are thinking you got Yahushua, that's all you need. You got to get back to the absolute. It made sense for him to come because he had to be, the only reason we really correlate with him because of the two natures. We got similar natures, subject and prone to. Elohim not. The difference between me and Elohim, I can be tempted. He can't be tempted. When the book told you about Yahushua after he was hungry, Satan came to him and you didn't believe what he did to him. Did what? Tempted him. Yahuwah told you, I can't be tempted. He said, I can't be tempted. I'm an absolute. He can go, hey God, you want some power? Smoke these cool cigarettes. Get on that blow. Snort you a line. He would never do it. He already know he can't be tempted. He did to Yahushua. Hello?
Yes, sir.
He was in the form of a servant. He knew what a man could do. A man can be tempted. Hello? He's absolute. But I need to know that because if I know he got faults and he got defects, it's going to be hard to put all my confidence in him.
That's right.
I need to know that. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
I need to be able to differentiate between the two.
Right.
Hello?
Right, sir.
Okay. I just want to make sure he's staying independent. They want to understand. He let know I'm independent. Can we see what the absolute is again? Please, sir. Viewed or existing. Let's see how that works. Pick me up and see that. We'll give it. See if that's the. See if that 31, 37. Allah Hadabarim. They call it Deuteronomy. Allah Hadabarim, yeah. Said 31, I think 37. Maybe. 32 is what I want. Okay, 32. It's 19 should tell me how he moved them to jealousy. Is that 19 or 20? I'll do 36. 32, 36. Listen.
For Yahuwah shall shafet his arm
And what?
and repent himself for his Abadim, whom he seeth that their power is gone, and there is none shut up or left. And he shall say, where are their mighty ones, their sewer in whom they trusted?
See, that we want to know. Well, it said about the rock. The Greeks didn't record about the rock. But you look at rock as being something solid, something strength. And he was going to turn. He was going to turn once we were broken completely down. And the book told we were going to be shattered and broken. He said once we were down, he said then he was going to repent himself. After he done seen all our help, our strength is gone. After we seen we failed. That's why I try to tell a lot of y'all coming here, you came at the wrong time. Or you came at a time when you thought everything was okay. Everything was still okay for you. That wasn't a good time.
Right,
But he got you to see it now. That's a benefit.
right.
Because they'll still try to make logic out of what you're doing when you still got somewhere else to go. You still got you some prevalent communication you can hold to out there. Then you'll keep wrestling with. You'll keep trying to figure and construct something outside of what he told you. When you ain't got no strength, you ain't got nothing. Let's see when he's going to repent himself again. Let's see what he's going to do, 36. Listen.
For Yahuwah shall shafet his arm and repent himself.
Oh, it's 36? 35? Oh.
And repent himself for his Abadim,
Yeah.
when he seeth that their power is gone,
When they're
and
utterly weakened.
and there is none shut up or left.
Listen.
And he
After
shall
it's done,
say,
what happened?
where are their mighty ones, their sewer in whom they trusted,
Listen.
which did eat the fat of their zabak, and drank the wine of their drink offering? Let them come and help you and be your protection.
See, they ain't come back and put it in your face. What happened to all that other stuff you were trusting in? People like, I don't want nobody to come throwing it into my face. He just throwed it in theirs.
Right,
Stuff ain't working out, huh?
right.
It didn't go the way you thought it was going to go, huh? What happened to all that big stuff you were talking about?
That's
Why don't you
right.
ask them to come and help you? Now, took your money, made a fool out of you, ran behind them and kissed their ass, and now what you got?
That's right.
That's what he looked at. He said, I sat back and I'm going to just put it back in your face. Let's hear about it.
See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no mighty one with me. I kill, and I make Kai.
What we do?
I kill, and I make Kai.
Listen.
I wound, and I heal.
What happened?
Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
What happened?
For I lift up my hand to Shamayim, and say, Akai, Alam.
That's an absolute.
That's right.
He didn't talk about him and nobody else. He told you I kill.
That's right.
He told you I make alive and I wound.
That's right.
He said there's no Elohim with me. He was trying to tell you I am an absolute by English definition. I'm independently supported. You need to know about Daud and Shalom so you understand. Shalom did not help Daud kill anybody. He gave that over to him. So you would acknowledge him and have a kabul for him, an honor for him, like you have for the Abba. But make no mistake, he was not the Abba to the degree that you're thinking. He was not the absolute. He only became the Abba because he begot us. And only you're going to make him the everlasting Father because he's still begetting. He's still begetting. Even Acts of the Shalakim 2 and 43, 44, and he added to the Adah such as he was still begetting, everlasting Abba. There's a difference. See, there's other people, they don't have to understand, so they'll go there, try to fight and try to make something different. The man just told you he could do nothing of himself. He said Abba had to give it to him. That differentiates. That's a separation. Hello? All right, somebody said there's a separation, just like long division. Isn't that right? There's a separation. Isn't that right? And that's what we learned. There's a separation. Isn't that right? But we still understand how. But see, you can learn that, and guess what we just did? We ain't take nothing away from it. What we took away from the being? You know what it did? Now all unashamed know how to honor the Abba. Isn't that right? And we get honor to the being. To the same degree, but we understand the absolute. Hello? That's okay? That's two.